Heyo, what's up guys? Today we are doing another tutorial. I will be teaching you how to create this clean animated face cam. As always, I will leave the project files down in the description so you can use them yourself, use it on stream, or maybe just use them to learn something. If you aren't already, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter for more behind the scenes, and let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to do is create a new project, so click create new. Then we will just make the width 1920 by 1080 and the resolution we will leave at 72 and click OK. Let's just change the background color to dark gray so we can see better what we are working on. First thing, use the rectangle tool and create a new shape. We will make the width 1280 by 720 and the radius of the corners 0. Click OK. Then center the frame and make the fill blank and create a stroke. We can do white stroke, make it 15 pixels and make it inside of the shape. Now let's scale it down a bit like this. Alright, first create some guides, so transform this object and drag the guides from the ruler so we have them in center, and let's add some details around. Using the polygonal lasso tool, just create some cool objects around. Make them centered and duplicate it and create another one on the right side. Like this. And we can merge all the layers using Ctrl+E. Now they're all one layer. Let's add some more elements. Let's do this shape to the top and bottom as well. So something like this, of course, on a new layer. And center it and drag it to the bottom as well. And merge all three layers. Alright, let's add the corners now. So on a new layer, of course. Cut around this object so it's perfect. Duplicate it and rotate it and drag it to the corner as well. Merge those two layers and duplicate it to all the corners now. Alright, two more corners. And you can now merge all the layers. Now we have the basic frame done, so now we need to add the bottom part as well. So let's do that by dragging the rectangle tool here from one side to the other. And of course on a new layer, fill it with white color and drag it a bit down. Adjust the size. I think that's good. Yeah, that's pretty good. And now you can merge both layers as well. So let's add a layer style to the layer now. Double click on the layer. And here we have the window. Click on the gradient overlay and create a dark overlay, not full black, a dark gray color so we can add an inner shadow in there. Click OK. Then click on the inner shadow and just copy my settings. We will do it like this. Perfect, so make the opacity 10, distance 2 and everything else 0. Click OK and that's it for the frame. Now let's add little color details around the face cam. So we can create some lines here, some pink lines. let me just recolor the background so you can see better, like this. And on a new layer, let's create some lines. And drag them behind the main layer. And let's duplicate the layer using Ctrl J and drag it to the bottom. And center both layers to the guide. And that's it. Now let's duplicate those two layers and drag them to the other side. So let's see, this is 4 pixels, 5 pixels, 4. Okay, perfect. Just position them nicely. Now let's add some cool lines to the top and the bottom as well. So let's start here. And let's duplicate it using Ctrl J again and flip it to the other side. And center those layers as well. And now let's duplicate them to the top, so Ctrl J on both layers, flip it vertically and drag them to the top. Perfect. Don't merge any of these layers because we will need them to be individual so we can animate them later in After Effects. Now let's add some to these corners. These ones drag over the Facecam. Duplicate them again, Ctrl J, and drag them to all the corners on the Facecam. Let me just quickly fix this one pixel popping out. So it's perfect. Select both layers, Ctrl J, and flip them horizontally and move them to the right side. And we have them all lined up perfectly. Now let's add some lines to the corners. So we will do that by dragging them here. Make a perfect shape. Duplicate it, flip it horizontally and rotate it like this. And you can merge these two layers and you can place them in these corners like this. And let's copy that layer and move it to each corner of the Facecam. Make sure the distance between the Facecam is the same in all corners so it looks nice. Even though it's a small detail, we need to pay attention to it. 5 pixels from the sides and 5 pixels from the top and the bottom. And the last corner is here. And perfect. You can merge those 4 corners because we won't animate them, and you can double click on the layer and add some outer glow. You can use the same color of the lines, and you can copy basically these settings. Let me just adjust them a bit like this so they are easy to copy. So opacity 50 and copy these. Click OK. Now we have some glow on them, that's nice. Now let's create another new layer and create some dots in these corners here. You will do that by using the polygonal lasso tool again and create some cool shapes here as well. I will do one white and white pink so we have some variety. Color overlay and click on the pink one and rasterize that layer. You can merge those two layers as well because we won't animate them. So Ctrl J to duplicate the layer, flip it horizontally and drag it to the right side as well. Select both layers and make sure to center them to the guides. You can then merge them again, Ctrl E and Ctrl J to duplicate them, rotate them vertically and drag them to the bottom of the Facecam. And make sure the distance is the same like on top, so here is 5 pixels. Let's make it 5 pixels here as well. Perfect. And you can merge both layers, so it's all in one layer. Now you can drag your logo here, drag it on top of all the layers, scale it down. Make sure to center it using the guides we created at the start, and drag it on top of the Facecam. You can make it go over both parts. I think this looks pretty good, actually a little bit up, like this. This looks pretty good. Now let's add the icons to the bottom part. I have them in my libraries, you can find them somewhere on the internet, I'm sure. Color both icons in pink. Scale them down. We can create another guide for this bottom layer as well. So just drag another guide from the top. And let's drag the heart to the left side here. And the $sign to the right side. I think they're pretty much scaled perfectly, so let's just center them. Select both layers and just drag them to the center guide. We can add a glow on them as well, so just double click on the layers, click outer glow and adjust the glow. Copy the layer style and paste it just on the other icon, so you don't have to create another outer glow. We are doing good for now. We just need to create the bar on the bottom, and I think that's it. So let's do that. Create a new layer on top of the Facecam layer and create a shape you would like. I will do a shape like this and drag it to the middle. It will automatically snap to the guides, and drag it back to the start. Just adjust it a little bit more and fill it with any color. It doesn't matter for now because we will delete that layer later. Like this. Center if it already isn't. Adjust the sides a bit. I like to delete the transparent pixels so they don't create problems later. Duplicate that layer using Ctrl J, flip it horizontally and drag it to the right side. Connect those two layers and merge them using Ctrl E. Make sure it's centered. If it's 1 pixel off, it doesn't really matter here. Then select the layer using Ctrl and then clicking on the thumbnail of the layer, and then click on the Facecam layer and then click Ctrl X to delete that part, and when you hide the white part, this part is deleted. And let's drag the white shape under the Facecam layer and let's color it in a dark color. Let's say dark gray again. Let's add some inner shadow, but this time we will create it in black. Distance 0 and size bigger size, just so we give it some depth and it doesn't look really flat. Now we can create another layer on top of that. After you select that layer, click on the new layer that's empty. Use your brush tool, make it hardness 0 and size whichever you'd like. Select the pink color we used for all the details and just click it a bit on the sides so we give it a cool effect. And it looks like this. Just duplicate that layer using Ctrl J and flip it horizontally and drag it to this side and adjust it here. Perfect. Now we can rasterize the layer of the Facecam, the main layer, and we can add some lights to it as well. So create a new layer, create a clipping mask to it. Select the white color and let's use the lasso tool again and go over the Facecam a bit. I like to do this kind of effect, so select it like this, choose the white color and just click it once. Then let's do another line here with the lasso tool, and then again click a bit here and here, so you get these lines. And let's do one or two more like this, maybe one more here. I think that's good. And now let's just select hard light and make the opacity a bit lighter. Okay, when you've done that, you can create another new layer. So we can create these cool sides. Use the pink color we used everywhere. Let's just make it a bit longer and a bit thinner. So let's do it like this. Cut the top so it's sharp. Duplicate that layer and position it on the bottom part. Cut the excess part and merge the two layers, and we have that part done as well. And now let's just duplicate that layer using Ctrl J and flip it to the right side. Alright, now we are done. Basically we just need to name all the layers so you can use them easily inside After Effects. So let's do that. Let's first of all rasterize all the layers because we don't need the layer styles anymore. And let's name them Donate Icon. Basically this will help you a lot inside After Effects so you can easily navigate. Then let's name this one Logo. Just go and hide unhide layers and you can easily see which ones that they are. So this is corners. You can merge these four as well because we won't animate them either. So corners again. These are dots that won't be animated as well. These lines, they won't be animated as well. So side lines. Then we have the light layer on top of the Facecam. We can merge those two. So Ctrl E and make it name it main frame. You can use whichever names you like, what's the best for you. Then we have the chat. Then we have the text part at the bottom. You can merge both lights on the sides and name it lights because we will animate that part. This is just the text part. Then we have all the lines. We can just name them as numbers because it doesn't matter that much. If you really want to make it easier for you, you can name them all top right, top left for example, bottom right and bottom left, and same for these things. So bottom right, actually let's do it okay, yeah, bot right works. Top right, again left, actually bot left and top left. So now you actually can't miss them. And this looks perfect now. You can actually delete the background as well because After Effects will create it for you. Just save it as a PSD in your dedicated folder, and let's jump into After Effects now. Alright guys, once you're in After Effects, just drag your PSD inside of here. Select the import kind as composition and click editable layer styles and click OK. That will automatically create your composition, so let's double click it and enter it. And here you have all your named layers. It looks perfect because we named them, so it's easy to use. You can click this icon right here so we can toggle the background, so we can see better what we are doing. And you can now delete the guides because we don't really need them anymore, so let's just do that. Alright, so first thing we are gonna do is select composition, composition settings, and make the composition a bit longer. So let's make it around 5 seconds, and let's just stretch all our layers to the end like this. After that, let's see which layers we will animate. We will animate the icons, of course, so let's just color them somehow. Let's say green. Then logo, we will animate the logo, of course. Corners, the corners won't be animated. Dots won't be animated. Sidelines won't be animated. Main frame will be animated, of course. Lights will be animated as well. Text part, it won't be animated. And all of these lines will be animated. Alright, let's animate the lights. So that's the easiest animation. Open up the menu, and we will need the opacity only. So the first frame will be 0% and the last one will be 0, of course. So let's add some more keyframes inside here so the lights pulsate. Let's add one here, make it 100%. Let's add one more and make it 0%. So here we will have the pulsating animation. Now let's try adding more. So we will have it at 100 here. And now let's just adjust these 3 keyframes because there's no more space for more keyframes. So we will need to make the center keyframe here at 2.5 seconds, and let's spread these to the sides as well. So let's say somewhere around here is the center between these two. Let's say at 15, and here is at 45, let's say. And let's see it. It pulsates. That's nice, and it loops as well. Okay, perfect. After that's done, you can select all the keyframes and click F9 on your keyboard to make them easy ease, and you can close that layer for now. You can also select all these motion blur boxes so everything will be much smoother. So the lights are animated, we can mark them in a different color. Now let's animate the logo. Open up the menu and click this box right here so we have a 3D layer so we can make the rotation. We'll just need the Y rotation because that's the one that goes sideways. So let's make it around 1 second. Select the keyframe and let's make a second keyframe at 2 seconds. And let's make it rotate 1 full circle. Let's see how this looks. Let After Effects render it out first, and let's see it now. Okay, that's perfect. Let's select both keyframes and click F9 so it easy eases. We'll just move the keyframes a bit to the right, let's say here, around 2 to 3 seconds. So it's around the center, and we will just leave it once so there is not a lot of distractions on the Facecam. So when you play it, the logo will rotate only once and then it will loop again. So let's see it now. 1 rotation, goes to the end, and then we have another rotation after 5 seconds, around 5 seconds. That's done now, so let's close that menu as well and mark it as done. Alright, now we will animate the follow and donation icon. First we will need to adjust the center point of them, so click this tool right here and drag this center point to the center of the heart. Adjust it properly so you don't have problems with it. Let's say around here. And let's select the donation icon and let's do that to it as well. So let's say around here. Now let's create them to be 3D layers, so select these 2 boxes and let's animate the heart first. So open up this menu, create the first keyframe for the Y rotation here and the second one at 1 second. And make it do a full circle, so type in 1. Let's see how that looks. Is it too fast? It isn't. Okay, let's leave it like that. Select both keyframes and click F9 again for the easy ease. And let's do that for the donation icon as well. Open up the menu, first keyframe here, second keyframe at 1 second, and make it do a full circle. Select both keyframes and click F9 for easy ease, and that should animate both icons. Yes, that's right. Let's mark both layers as done. The next thing we can animate is all these lines, so let's see what we will do with them. Let's see, top right is this one. Open up the menu, transform, and let's do their animation around 1 second. Alright, make the first position here and the second position a bit later. Move back to the first keyframe and make it disappear. So it will pop up like this. And we will need to hide it a bit later, so let's say around here. Make another keyframe. And then the same distance we did here, make it here, and another position keyframe here, and make it disappear again. You can select all the layers and click F9 for easy ease. Alright, let's see it. Appears and then disappears. That's perfect. We will copy the same animation to the left part as well, the left line. So open the menu from the left line, do it at the same time. So position here, and the first frame will be hidden. And the same thing here, position and hide it. Now it should work at the same time. We just need to select all these and easy ease them using F9 on your keyboard. Works perfectly. Now instead of doing that animation to the bottom part as well, we will just select these layers, pre-compose them, call them lines, and move all the attributes into the new composition. Click OK. Let's see, now you can delete both of these lines. After you deleted both lines on the bottom part, you can right click on the composition and then transform it, flip vertically. And then let's see where they are. They are already positioned perfectly. If they aren't, if they go missing somewhere, just drag them and see what looks the best. Although this might be too low. No, it's good. After you flip them, looks perfect and it goes in the same time, so we'll leave it like that. So that's done as well. Now we need to do that for the sides as well. So we will make one side and copy paste it to the other side. Let's do the left side first. Open this menu, transform. We will use the position animation as well. So let's do it at a different time, not at the same time as the top and the bottom ones. Position, move it a bit to the right, another keyframe and go back to the first one and then hide it. Alright, and then go to the right a little bit more on your timeline, select again position, the same distance of the keyframes again, and hide it. Alright, select all keyframes, press F9 and that animation is done. Now we need to do it for the bottom line here as well. So in the same position, you can first create all the keyframes, it doesn't matter which way you go. I'll do it that way now, so just create all the keyframes first. Then go back to the first keyframe, hide the layer, go back to the last keyframe, hide the layer, select all the keyframes, press F9 and the animation should be done. It goes perfectly in the same time, so let's pre-compose both layers as well. Name it lines, let's say lines 2. Move all attributes into the new composition, click OK. You can delete the right lines now, so we can just copy paste them. So delete the right lines, copy paste this composition, flip them, transform, flip horizontally, they should be perfect in place. Let's just make sure that's true. 2 pixels here, it's 3 pixels here, so let's just move it a bit to the left. You can do that using your arrows on your keyboard. Alright, that's perfect. And the last thing we need to do is add an animation to the main frame, and we will do a light sweep. So search inside effects, light sweep, drag that effect onto the layer, and we will now mess around with these settings. So you can see it already created a light for us, so we have it here, but it's a bit too light. I don't really like it, so let's adjust it. Direction is okay. Let's make the width a bit wider, the intensity a bit lower. Let's make the edge intensity a bit more darker, like this. The light color works well, I think. Yeah, the white works as okay, gives it a metallic feel. And we can now move the center point out of the frame around here. We can do it in the center actually, so let's do it here. It's easier to navigate if it is in center, so create a keyframe using this button here. So center keyframe here, and let's move it to, let's say, 45 frames. I'll open it down here as well, and you can drag the center point to the right here. So where is it? 45 frames, and drag the center point to the right. You can select both keyframes and click F9, so it makes it smooth. Alright, after you animated the light, that's basically it. Mark it as done. Let's see the animation now. It's fast, quick. All the animations are really smooth. Works well. And that's it. Alright guys, now I will show you the export settings. So just click composition and add to render queue. You don't have to mess with the render settings. Maybe if you want to change the FPS, you can do that inside of there, but we will just change the output module, so click that. I recommend you to use the QuickTime format and make sure to click RGB plus alpha, because you don't want to render the background. You want to make it transparent so you can see your face under the Facecam, so that's the most important part. Click OK, select where you want to save it, and click render. Another option you can do is click composition and add to Adobe Media Encoder queue. Once you're inside Media Encoder, your Facecam will pop up here, and you can click on this. This window will pop up, and here we will change a couple of settings. So of course, first format, we will select WebM. We don't need audio, so you can remove that. And you can use maximum render quality and drag a bit down here. And click include alpha channel. That's all you have to do. Click OK, select where you want to save it, and save it. It will work perfectly in OBS, and you will have a low file size so it won't lag on your stream, and that's it. Alright guys, now I will show you how to set it up inside OBS. So basically just click this plus button, click media source. You can name it as webcam overlay or something like that. Click OK. You can select your local file here. Click on the Facecam. And make sure to click loop. You can adjust these settings to your liking, but I don't think you really need to change anything. And after that, just click OK. And the Facecam appears. You can change the size of it. You can change the position if you want. And that's basically it. Alright guys, if you made it to here, you should probably have a Facecam that looks something like this. All the project files will be in the description as always, so you can use them, have fun, maybe learn something, and of course you can use it on your stream for free. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.